National Electrical Code Section 700.12e addresses emergency lighting from unitized equipment. It states that this emergency lighting must be on the area lighting circuit except in open areas. To understand this, we need to define what constitutes normal lighting. According to the National Electrical Code Article 100, normal lighting is the illumination usually provided throughout a building or specific space. This lighting is used when occupants are engaged in ordinary activities. Normal lighting can be provided by natural or artificial light sources. Night lighting is generally considered a type of normal lighting. Its purpose is to supply a low level of illumination for safety and security. This is typically used when the building is unoccupied or when occupants are not engaged in typical activities. Therefore, emergency lighting from unitized equipment is permitted to be on the same circuit as the night lighting, specifically in an open area. The key is the definition of an open area. This refers to spaces where clear and unobstructed egress is required during an emergency. The purpose of the exception is to ensure that emergency lighting is immediately available in areas where people need to evacuate safely. Let's consider some practical examples to illustrate this concept. Imagine a large office building. During regular business hours, the area lighting provides ample illumination for employees to work. However, after hours, the night lighting maintains a minimal level of light for security. If a power outage occurs, the emergency lighting system kicks in to provide sufficient illumination for safe evacuation. In open areas, such as corridors or lobbies, the emergency lighting can be on the same circuit as the night lighting. This ensures that these critical areas remain illuminated during an emergency. Now let's consider a different scenario. In a closed office or storage room, the rules might be different. Because these are not open areas, the emergency lighting might need to be on a separate circuit from the normal lighting. This is because the primary concern in these areas is not immediate evacuation, but rather ensuring that occupants can safely exit the space. It's also essential to consider the specific requirements of the local building codes and regulations. These codes might have additional requirements or restrictions on emergency lighting systems. For example, some jurisdictions might require that emergency lighting systems have a certain level of redundancy or that they be connected to a backup power source. The National Electrical Code provides a baseline set of standards, but local codes often have more stringent requirements. When designing or installing emergency lighting systems, it's crucial to consult with a qualified electrical engineer or contractor. They can ensure that the system meets all applicable codes and regulations and that it is properly installed and maintained. Regular testing and maintenance are also essential to ensure that the emergency lighting system functions correctly when needed. This includes checking the batteries, lamps, and other components of the system. Any damaged or malfunctioning component should be replaced immediately. Let's delve deeper into the technical aspects of emergency lighting systems. These systems typically consist of several key components, including the emergency lighting fixtures, the battery backup system, and the automatic transfer switch. The emergency lighting fixtures are designed to provide a specific level of illumination during a power outage. They often use light-emitting diode or LED technology because LED are energy efficient and have a long lifespan. The battery backup system provides power to the emergency lighting fixtures when the normal power supply is interrupted. The batteries must be sized to provide sufficient power for the required duration, typically 90 minutes as specified by the National Electrical Code. The automatic transfer switch automatically switches the emergency lighting system to the battery backup power when it detects a power outage. This ensures that the emergency lighting is immediately activated when needed. In addition to these key components, emergency lighting systems may also include other features such as remote monitoring and control. These features allow building managers to monitor the status of the emergency lighting system and to perform remote testing and maintenance. It's also important to consider the aesthetics of the emergency lighting system. While functionality is the primary concern, the emergency lighting fixtures should also be visually appealing and integrate well with the overall design of the building. There are many different types of emergency lighting fixtures available, ranging from recessed fixtures to surface-mounted fixtures to exit signs. The choice of fixture will depend on the specific application and the design of the space. Furthermore, the placement of emergency lighting fixtures is critical to ensure adequate illumination during a power outage. The fixtures should be located in strategic locations, such as near exits, stairwells, and corridors. The illumination level should meet the minimum requirements specified by the National Electrical Code and other applicable codes. In summary, understanding the requirements for emergency lighting circuits is essential for ensuring the safety of building occupants during a power outage. The National Electrical Code Section 700.12e provides specific guidance on this topic, and it's important to consult with qualified professionals to ensure that the system meets all applicable codes and regulations. By properly designing, installing, and maintaining emergency lighting systems, we can help to protect lives and prevent injuries during emergencies. We've established that normal lighting is used for ordinary activities and night lighting provides low-level illumination for safety, and emergency lighting ensures safe evacuation during power outages. Now, let's address some frequently asked questions about emergency lighting. Firstly, how often should emergency lighting systems be tested? The National Electrical Code recommends monthly testing of emergency lighting systems to ensure they are functioning properly. This testing should include a visual inspection of the fixtures and a functional test to verify that the battery backup system is working. Secondly, what is the required illumination level for emergency lighting? The National Electrical Code specifies minimum illumination levels for emergency lighting in various types of spaces. The specific requirements vary depending on the occupancy and the type of space, but generally, the illumination level should be sufficient to allow occupants to safely evacuate the building. Thirdly, can emergency lighting be used for normal lighting? No, emergency lighting should not be used for normal lighting. Emergency lighting is designed to provide illumination only during power outages, and it is not intended to be used as a primary source of light. Using emergency lighting for normal lighting can deplete the battery backup system and reduce its effectiveness during an emergency. Fourthly, what are the different types of battery backup systems used in emergency lighting? There are several different types of battery backup systems used in emergency lighting, including nickel-cadmium batteries, lead-acid batteries, and lithium-ion batteries. Each type of battery has its own advantages and disadvantages, and the choice of battery will depend on the specific application and the budget. Fifthly, what are the requirements for the maintenance of emergency lighting systems? Emergency lighting systems require regular maintenance to ensure they are functioning properly. This maintenance should include regular testing, cleaning, and replacement of damaged or worn components. The batteries should be replaced periodically, typically every 3 to 5 years, depending on the type of battery and the usage. Sixthly, what are the penalties for non-compliance with emergency lighting codes? Non-compliance with emergency lighting codes can result in significant penalties, including fines, legal action, and even closure of the building. It's important to ensure that all emergency lighting systems meet the applicable codes and regulations to avoid these penalties. Seventhly, how do I choose the right emergency lighting system for my building? Choosing the right emergency lighting system for your building requires careful consideration of several factors, including the size and layout of the building, the occupancy type, the local building codes, and the budget. It's best to consult with a qualified electrical engineer or contractor to get expert advice on selecting the appropriate emergency lighting system. Eighthly, where can I find more information about emergency lighting codes and regulations? More information about emergency lighting codes and regulations can be found in the National Electrical Code, the local building codes, and the publications of organizations such as the National Fire Protection Association and the Illuminating Engineering Society. These resources provide detailed information on the requirements for emergency lighting systems and how to comply with them. Ninthly, what are some common mistakes to avoid when installing emergency lighting systems? Some common mistakes to avoid when installing emergency lighting systems include improper wiring, insufficient battery capacity, inadequate illumination levels, and failure to comply with local building codes. Careful planning and attention to detail are essential to avoid these mistakes and ensure that the emergency lighting system functions properly. 10th, how can I improve the energy efficiency of my emergency lighting system? The energy efficiency of emergency lighting systems can be improved by using light-emitting diode or LED fixtures, optimizing the placement of fixtures, and implementing automatic controls that turn off the emergency lighting when it's not needed. Energy-efficient emergency lighting systems can save money on electricity bills and reduce the environmental impact of the building. These questions and answers provide a more comprehensive understanding of emergency lighting systems and their requirements. By addressing these frequently asked questions, you can gain a better understanding of the importance of emergency lighting and how to ensure that your building is properly equipped. In conclusion, understanding the interplay between normal lighting, night lighting, and emergency lighting is crucial for electrical safety and code compliance. National Electrical Code Section 700.12e provides specific guidelines for emergency lighting circuits, and it is important to follow these guidelines to ensure the safety of building occupant. Remember that night lighting is generally considered a type of normal lighting, and emergency lighting from unitized equipment can be on the same circuit as the night lighting in open areas. However, it is always recommended to consult with a qualified electrical professional to ensure that the emergency lighting system is installed and maintained properly. This will ensure that the system functions correctly during a power outage and provides adequate illumination for safe evacuation. Also, do not forget to check local and state regulations and codes, since they can override the National Electric Code. The National Electric Code is the minimum standard that jurisdictions can adopt.